Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Wednesday here in Melbourne. And of course, let's continue and we go up to Queensland in particular, of course, my former city of Brisbane in particular. And of course, we've got four very special guests from the junior girls team to tell us a bit about how their season's gone so far in season 2020. And they join us now to tell us all about it. Thanks all for you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I'll get each of you to introduce yourselves and obviously which teams you all play for.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jade and I play for under 13s girls.
Hi, I'm Eleanor and I'm the captain of the under 13 girls team.
I'm Sammy and I'm the captain of the under 15s girls team.
And I'm Ash and I'm the vice captain of the under 15 girls team.
Now, tell us, how's the season been? Obviously, the season got cut short, of course, to 12 games, I think, this year. Tell us, how has that been so far?
Well, for our team, it's been going pretty well. We've had some pretty good wins, but I think we're going into finals soon, so we've just got to make sure to keep training hard to beat those teams.
Sorry, it's definitely been a challenging year. We've had to really adapt and change our way of training, especially during lockdown and stuff, but I think we've all done really good and we're doing well. So,
yeah, isolation threw us off a bit, but like I feel like we came out stronger and more mentally strong because we faced that challenge, and our under 15 girls actually going pretty good this year, so fingers crossed for finals. So yeah.
Now, you must tell us on the ladder your respective teams are, and obviously, are you optimistic that you can get there in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, fingers crossed. Like, there's still a chance we won't make it, but fingers crossed that we will.
Yeah. I think we're sitting second on the ladder, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So, we've got to win the next two and then granny.
Yeah. And for us, we're number one on the ladder, which is really exciting. Yeah. So that's really good for our team, because I feel like this year we've our training sessions have been more dedicated towards like strength and getting up our like strategies for games. So we're really doing well in games.
Tell us a bit about your coaches.
We have our coaches Jason and Heidi. And it's been really good because this year they focused a lot on like the fitness aspect of football, which is really important. So we've been doing like a lot of running practice and then also practicing a lot of like hand passing skills to share the ball more around so that we're not all sort of clumping together, which is a lot of what happens in like younger football.
Our coaches are Steve, my dad, and not Heidi, Treaty. No, you got Heidi in my head. But we've been focusing more on the structural part of the game because as we get older, like we can't be doing clumped football because that's just not going to get us anywhere, which has been good for us. And using that structural football has got us the win for the majority of our games because we've played wide with like stormed over the teams, like not to be like rude.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a couple players in your team we should watch out for in the next couple of weeks, and you can't include yourselves.
Definitely in our team, I would say Mia. She's our vice captain, and she's usually playing in like the midfield. So a lot of the time when we'll have like a tap in the ruck, it'll go to Mia and she can kind of just smash through a lot of people. She's very good skills-wise as well.
For our team, I'd say, can we say each other? Because Ash really spots. If the ball gets down the back line, it's all good. Ash has got it sorted.
Well, I would definitely say Shani and Sammy because Sammy just gets it and goes. Like she'll always look for the better option and look for like someone that's in a better position to get us those goals. And also Shani because she just gets it out of the pack. Like she just goes and goes non-stop.
Now, of course, I want to have a speak to the two captains of your respective teams there. Now, tell us, what did that mean to you to be named captain by your peers?
I was really proud when I was named captain because I've been playing at this club for a while, and my brother's been playing at this club since he was probably like 6. So it meant a lot really to be able to like represent the club as captain, and I really enjoyed all the responsibilities that I've had, and it's been very fun.
For me, I was really shocked because, I did not expect it at all, but it's been really good to work with the other vice captains to help the team overcome the challenges we've faced over the season. But no, I was very happy that I got selected, and it's been good.
Now, of course, let's get to know a bit about how both of you got, how all 4 of you got involved in the sport. Tell us, how did it all start, and why did you choose it?
You go.
For me, it started when I was in primary school, and we had school sport, and I've known that my brother and my dad have been really into football for a while, and I thought, I'll just give it a try. And so I did that for school, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I decided, I'll come down to the club for the next year, and I haven't stopped since. And I think this is my 3rd year with the club.
And for me, so basically my dad and my uncles all played footy, and they'd always tell me such great stories about the mates they've like connected with and made, and they're still great friends with them. So I thought maybe I'd try it and see. And the club, I know a lot of friends from primary went here, so I tried it out and I really enjoyed it, and it's a great community with great people.
I've grown up around footy my whole life. I've always been down at the club and my brother's been playing. So I just decided one day I'd give it a go too, and I've loved it.
For me, it was primary school. My HPE teacher knew that I liked contact sport. I liked getting in there, getting in the play. And she was like, go give it a go. Go try out for districts. And I was like, okay, I don't even know the rules, but let's give it a go. And then a couple of years later, I played club. So yeah.
Now, something you've just mentioned before about having brothers and sisters that play the sport. The question I'm going to ask is, who's the better footballer? And absolutely be honest.
I would have to say, out of me and my brother, probably my brother, just because he is 17. So I think if we were to 1-on-1 competition, he'd probably monster me. He's about 6'3", so I think I might get smashed.
I personally think I'm the better way. I mean, my brother's pretty trash. No, I'm kidding. He's so much better than me. But it's nice when he plays with me sometimes and gives me some points.
I don't know, it's pretty equal between me and my sister. My sister's, we have both different strengths. She's, better at the tackling, but I'm better at the visual and structural side of it. So.
And I don't have any siblings.
Now, you might as well tell us what position all 4 of you play on the field, and if you had a preferred position where you love to convince your coaches to put you, where will that be?
I'd say for me, probably I really enjoy playing ruck as well as centre half forward. So being one of the taller people on the field, I really like, getting in there doing the tap out.
I really like the back line, so I like doing centre half back because I get to sometimes drift into the forward line and help, the mid section if people need help. And it's good to just get the ball and boot it to the forward line.
I like fullback because I get to see the whole field. I get to see the structure of the game. I get to be able to help other people get the ball and position and just that structural.
I usually rotate through the mids and centre half forward, and yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what will be some highlights about all 4 of your footy journey so far?
I'd say probably the main highlight for me was 2 years ago. I was in the under-13 girls team that won the Division 1 Premiership, and that was probably the highlight because I got to go up there with a lot of my friends and accept the trophy.
Yeah. This is my first year of footy, so it's really been nice to see how much I've improved and get the feedback from my coaches saying that I have improved through my kicking skills and marking and handballing and tackling. and just that feedback's really nice.
I played under 14 boys last year, and I thought that was a highlight of my footy career because, like, my team ended up making the Div 1 finals, which is pretty cool. Like, being a girl and boys team making Div 1 finals, like, that was pretty cool.
I guess probably getting selected as captain was a pretty cool achievement. But yeah, every year brings different highlights, and it's always good fun getting to meet new people and growing together as a team. So yeah.
Now, what does the sport mean to all of you, and especially playing there at Jindalee?
For me, I think football is really just about Jindalee, the kind of the community. So again, saying like my brother's been playing here for ages, and sort of just growing up around here, meeting all the people, and you get to know everybody. It's kind of like a big family in the club, and it really means a lot. It's very important to me.
Yeah. And for me, playing for Jags is really such an honour because I never, the sport I did before wasn't a team sport, so it's really a big change, and I really love the community and the people who I play with, and I love my team and how much support we have for each other, which is really good.
Footy in general is like a chance to just escape and let it all out. So it's a good sport to play in. The Jags has been so good to everyone here. Like, it is really a family and a community. And especially this year, I feel our team's gotten really close. And I consider the girls like close friends, not just teammates.
Yeah.
Like Sammy said, like, footy for me is just a way to express myself. Like, it just lets you be free, lets you be who you are. And for me, that makes me feel safe and feel at home. And being at the Jags, like, this is my first year, but even in a year, I felt like this is family, this is who we are, and we can all just be free.
I really asked this question, but I'm going to ask this question anyway, which is, now, how good is to play with each other on the same team? So you must as well send each other a bit of some love.
Playing for Eleanor is really amazing because she always is able to get the ball and get rid of it, and her possession of the ball is amazing. She's always able to get those high marks when some of the other people in our team do miss them, which is really good.
I love playing with Jade because she's really, even though it's her first year of football, she's just not scared at all. Like, there'll be a pack of people. I remember her first game, and it was there's just a pack of people, and she just goes straight in, tries to get the ball. And her first game, she's high tackle over, but still just going straight in and not afraid at all.
I'm just saying I'd rather be on Ash's team than against her because she is scary. But she's always uplifting the team and getting around everyone, lifts the mood a lot, and it's good to be on the same team as her.
I love being on the same team as Sammy because I know no matter what happens to her on the field, she'll always give it a go. Like last week, a couple of weekends ago, she got sandwich. Sandwich. She got squashed. She got up and she made the next tackle and she did not stop. And she's always there, no matter what. If you're sad, she's there. If you're down, she's there. Even if you're happy, she'll celebrate everything with you. She'll be with you through the ups and downs, and that's just what a teammate does.
Now, of course, do either of you have any future ambitions in the sport of footy?
I'd say for me, I personally love to keep just continuing with my football. The Jags is great women's team that have been doing really well, so I'd really like to just continue my football through that, and possibly, fingers crossed, make one of the representative teams. But it's pretty hard. There's a lot of really good girls in our area.
Although I don't really know if I'd want a career in AFL, but the fact that there's an option for that for us is just really cool. But definitely playing until I'm old and grey.
I'd love to still do it as a sport because it's an amazing way of fitness. Doing so much running and tackling, you're doing so much physical exercise, and it's just a great way to have fun and exercise. So I'd love to still do it when I'm 40.
I would eventually like to play Koffel and maybe even AFLW, but even just playing women's footy at Jags would be an opportunity of a lifetime. Like, it's so good how much girls footy has grown, and we now get that opportunity to play when we're old.
Now, tell us how special has your parents and your family been to your footy journey so far?
Well, I think they've been most important because without them, I wouldn't be able to get to any of the trainings, and they take me to all of the games, and they're always there, like, supporting you on the sideline or helping with, like, water carrying or anything. And my dad particularly, he's always, like, interested in sort of trying to improve every part of my game, which is sometimes annoying at times, but it's, in the long run, it's really helpful because I'm a much better football player because of them.
I love the support of my parents because, especially my dad, like, on the weekends he'll be kicking the footy, and without him I wouldn't be able to. And, like, he's always, well, sometimes it's annoying, but it's good him giving me feedback, because when I started playing footy, my kicking wasn't the best. So throughout the season, my kicking has gotten a lot better because of him.
My parents are legends. They're always so supportive. My mum, she's like our team photographer. She's always down there. She dresses my dog up in a jersey. Like, the whole family really gets down and supports us. And my dad is amazing. He always gives me feedback and helps me improve. So does my brother, which is very annoying, but I mean, he's very good. So
yeah, I wouldn't be playing footy without my parents. Like, the amount of support and encouragement they give me, like, my dad was actually the one who convinced me to play club football and, like, pursue it. And, like, without the support and, like, courage and, like, the guidance and advice that they've given me, like, before games, after games, to the ups, downs, like, crying moments, happy moments, through it all. Like,
What will be your advice to our listeners and viewers out there that should get involved in footy, especially down there at Jindalee?
I think the best advice is just get involved, just give it a go, because it's so much fun and you'll meet so many new people, and especially if you're enjoying it, just train hard, because that'll make it even more fun. Your skills get even better.
Yeah, I feel like what I would say to viewers is, even though, say you're terrible at sports, no one cares. It's all about having fun, getting in, giving it a go, because there's so much self-growth with all the training that we do and stuff. And it's great to have such an amazing team that's there to support you, because they can give you that feedback and that support to help you improve, even if you are not such a great player.
Like Eleanor and Jane said, just give it a go.
Yeah.
What's the worst you can do? You say you tried and you didn't like it. Like, just give it a go. Get out there. There's no judgment. Like, everyone's family here.
Yeah, what they said pretty much. A lot of people say they're scared of playing or whatever because of the tackling and everything, but a thing we try and promote at the club is having everyone's back, so you don't let anyone hurt your players. So like that, we've got you.
Yeah, just the teammate support, and you find that you find friends for life. Like,
Now, I know that the AFL Grand Final was up in Brizzy this year at the Gabba. Of course, due to our Melbourne lockdown. I guess how exciting is that to have the AFL Grand Final up in Brizzy?
It's very exciting, because usually it's in Melbourne and I'll be watching it on TV, but it's crazy that it's actually out in Queensland.
Yeah. It's amazing to see how, because a few weeks ago where we trained, we got to see the Brisbane players training. So it was just amazing to see them grow this season and how much they've gone up the ladder this year and for the past few years. So it's great to have them play here.
It's so good, like, having Brisbane to have the chance to hold a grand final and for us to see a grand final live, that's pretty cool. Like I get, like, Melbourne and has MCG, most amount of seats, biggest crowd, biggest atmosphere, but it's just good to have it in Brisbane so that we can experience that.
I've got a bank account set up for it. I'm saving up because I better get a ticket. But if I don't, Dad said we're just going to drive around it and have it playing in the car so we can just like be around the atmosphere of it. But I'm so excited.
I'll be in your car.
Yeah, okay. You all can come.
Let's finish up with a couple questions now, which is, who had the most embarrassing moment on the field this season, and what was it?
This season.
This season, I'd say probably I didn't check which direction we were going one of the quarters, so I've just got it straight in the middle, and I've done probably my best kick of the season straight into their forward line, and everyone's shouting at me like that's the wrong way. I was like, oh, oops. I don't think it was in a game, but I remember at training, my shoelace was like, I'm about to run, like sprint, full on sprint, and I've just stepped into my shoelace and fallen flat first onto my face.
For me, personally, I missed the goal from probably 3 meters out. That was embarrassing. I've never lived that down. The car ride home was traumatic.
For me, it'd probably be like, I'm in backs, right? So like I got put in the forward one game, and I hit the post. Like it was like 4 meters out, and I hit the post.
Unlucky.
Now, who's the comedian in the team?
For our team, I would say probably, for our team, we have a player called Estelle, who's kind of just always mental, and she'll be screaming on the field trying to get everyone.
Wait, what does she yell?
She'll be like screaming, yeah, Jags from the back, trying to get everyone psyched up, and she'll be just running around.
One player on our team, her name's Bethany.
She's
it's her first year of footy, and every time she gets the ball, she takes a mark. Just the joy on her face, it's just, she has a little celebration.
Like,
it's good to see her.
Like the second game of the year, like she marked the ball and she kicked the goal, but the umpire caught it behind, and she still cheered because she caught the ball, and the other team was like, you know, it was only behind. And she's like, but I caught the ball. She didn't care.
It's the biggest celebration from behind I've ever seen.
Now, I know there's this thing called TikTok at the moment. I actually haven't asked the question yet, which is, who's the best singer and dance on the team first?
Oh, I would say I'm the best singer.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, she definitely is the best singer. Sammy's the best singer.
Yeah, no, I no, it's not pretty.
I wouldn't say she's the best singer or dancer, but we have a personnel team, Jamie, who seems to just be constantly in the background just doing TikTok dances.
Like, we'll be like warming, we'll be training, and she'll just start like whipping out a dance.
Like the comedian on that team, Beth is the best like TikToker. Like
She proves.
Yeah. Like to move, like she can just dance. Like
Now, we'll finish on with 2 final ones, which is now, obviously, during the lockdown that you had the first time around, is there a hidden talent that you didn't think you had?
I wouldn't say I'm very good at it, but I did get very bored and ended up doing a lot of juggling, mainly for my dogs. But I don't think I could do it anymore. But yes.
Oh yeah. I learned how to do this thing where you go like. I hadn't got it for years, and then I just like spent like hours.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, that's what I got in my time.
Oh, that's funny.
At the Jags, we actually like tried to get involved during isolation. Like our committee created challenges. So there was a new challenge, and like you post it on the Facebook page, and then there'll be a winner at the end of each week. And like you range from like TikTok dances to like designing a jersey, like it just ranges.
Yeah.
Perfect segue. It's the question I was just about to ask about the challenges. Now, did either of you did any of those challenges, and what was the best one that you did?
I entered in pretty much all of them, but like the best one I did was the TikTok one. I reckon. Like I spent about like a good whole week planning that dance, so I'll take it.
My mum tried to force me and my brother to do it, but he wasn't really that enthusiastic. But we tried, and yeah.
I tried to get the one where you like kick a ball into the bin, but that was I couldn't get it.
Yeah, I was bad at that.
Yeah.
Well, all four of you, thank you so much for giving up your time. Obviously, prior and now during training now. Obviously, best of luck for this weekend in particular, and especially the next 2 weeks. And hopefully, you can get into the grand final in 3 weeks' time, and hopefully win that premiership in 2020. And we'll definitely be right behind the Jags in the 2020 year for the 13s and the 15s. And hopefully, you can get over the top in 3 weeks' time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. No worries, and that's the Jindalee Jags under 13s and under 15s girls football team. Of course, if you are in the area, of course, we'll put the fixtures on the next 2 games they've got coming up, including this weekend, and how you can go about supporting the mighty Jags in the 2020 season. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away. Here on Lockdown Wednesday. Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM, here again on Lockdown Wednesday here in Melbourne. And of course, let's go back up to Queensland in particular and speak to the Jindalee Jags Football Club. And of course, their season is still going as we speak. And of course, they're heading towards finals in the next couple of weeks. And of course, we got 4 very special guests join us again to tell us a bit about how their season's going so far in 2020. And they join us right now. Thanks all 4 of you for joining us.
No worries. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll get each of you to introduce yourselves and obviously which teams you all play for down there at the Jags.
Yeah.
Riley,
I'm Riley. I play for the under 17 girls.
I'm Gemma. I play for the under 17 girls.
I'm Tay. I play for the senior women.
I'm Danielle and I play for the senior women.
You might as well tell us, how's the season been travelling so far for the 17s and the seniors?
What's up with the 17s, girls?
The 17s so far, we've had a couple really, really good wins, and it's been an awesome, fun season with the girls. I don't think we're going to make finals this year, but other than that, couldn't be prouder.
It was a good season and all the girls were fantastic, so we had a lot of fun, so it was good. Senior women, we just finished last week. We made it to the prelim, lost to Noosa. We're now going to play Hinterland in the grand final next week. We only lost 1 game during the season and had a draw, which is a lot better than what we did last year. Huge improvement.
Good. We had a different bunch of girls to what we had last year, so I think the group was able to bond really well this year, and we made some really good friendships, and there was a fair bit of success that came out of it through the footy, so it was good.
Now, obviously, I'll stay with the senior women first because obviously your season just completed last weekend. Tell us a bit about that prelim final against Noosa. And I guess, how did that game pan out?
Okay, yeah, cool. So we knew it was going to be a tough battle coming into it. By the time it hit half-time, we were 1 point up, so we were 19-18 all the way through the first half. And they were really tough with the footy, very physical. And they were just able to shut our key players down, which I'll give credit to. It may not have been the fairest of strategies, but they got the job done. And then in the end, I think it was potentially the third quarter, they were able to kick a couple on us.
And then the fourth quarter, we tried to keep them out as best we could. I don't think they kicked many points on us in the fourth quarter. And we did kick an extra goal in the last half at some point. Not that my memory is very good because it was all over the shop, but we ended up it was 36-21. So it was a tough battle, and we definitely didn't give up. We kept going to the end, but kudos to them. They got the job done. They shut down the key players and they stayed on top of us. So they just had the better game in the end.
The question I'm going to ask both of you, who do you think is going to end up getting the premiership at the end between Noosa and Hinterland?
I reckon Hinterland, they just got a better group, I think. They gel well together, they read off each other, plenty of talk, which is really a key thing in footy. And I think they've got that more of a team vibe that I think will just get them over the line, which they had a game against Noosa during the season and they won. So I'm hoping that is what's going to get them over.
Now, let's go to the 17s. Now, obviously, luckily for you, you've still got 2 more games left before hopefully you still have that chance to make that grand final in 3 weeks' time. I guess, how's the preparations been like this week? And I guess, is that hope still there to make the grand final in 3 weeks?
Yeah, definitely. Like, the girls are still giving it their all in training, and I know for a fact we want it. We want to get into the final. So that's just going to have to be what we show up and play with on Sunday. You know, if we want it enough, we're going to have to win.
Well, from the very start of the season, we're a completely different team to now. So it was very new, everyone starting this year, and we've all gelled quite well as a team, and we're much more of a family. Coming into this week's game is quite a hard team as well. So hopefully we can all gel and get the job done by the end.
Throughout this season, you mentioned obviously you've got a pretty critical game against, I guess, one of the top teams that are going to battle out for that grand final spot. I guess, how have you gone against them already this year?
So we won, I think, 80 to maybe 0 or 1 goal.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can do it again. Sorry.
Yeah. Although it was quite a high-scoring game for us, they were still a good team and they got their body over the footy a lot. And they're quite a physical side.
Now, the question I'm going to ask both teams, obviously with this season being a really shortened season because obviously with COVID, I guess, how have both teams tried to adapt to playing, obviously the seniors, I think you've played like 6 or 7 games, and obviously with the 17s, I think you've played around 12 to 14 games already this year. I guess, how has that been?
Yeah, look, lockdown was interesting. Obviously, the state went into lockdown when they had all the active cases come out. So the club got behind trying to keep everybody fit and motivated. So they posted up virtual challenges on the Facebook page and social media pages and stuff to keep the kids involved. So that was really good. And we tried to obviously encourage them to do that as much as possible. But yeah, the seniors have had 8 games in total. And I'll butt in here for the 17s because luckily enough, you got the coach of the 17s here as well. And the girls actually had 12 games in total. So, yeah, I mean, 8 games for the seniors was definitely different because we usually have, anywhere between 12 to 16, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was definitely different, like a much shorter season. My body's thankful for it, though, in a way. Like, I'm not complaining too much, but it is unfortunate because we just don't get to see as much of the game as we wanted to. But I think the 17s were very lucky in their space to still get 12 games. Unfortunately, though, the only thing that they had to cop off of COVID was the fact that their final series got cut down to 1 week. So what they're doing is the 2 teams that finish in the top 2, they're the only 2 that will play in the grand final. So it's been a lot harder on them and there's been a lot more pressure to get the W's. But yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way it's had to work this year, and not ideal for us because we probably would have finished top 4, not quite top 2, but we can still work to get there and maybe have our fingers crossed that some of the other teams might drop their bread on the weekend, but we'll see how we go.
Now, I'm going to ask this question, even though 17 is going to be very careful how they answer this question. Tell us a bit about your coaches.
Oh, they're so loving and supporting. Like, I couldn't ask for any others. So they've been really great and helpful. Helped us all season, and yeah, couldn't have asked for anyone better.
Yeah, I mean, like, our coaches are definitely like family to us. They drive us to games and they help out any way they can. And yeah, they're just awesome coaches, and we've had a great season with them.
Yeah, our senior women's coach, Hazy, he's new to the club this year. He comes from a military background. So when we first found out that we were getting him, we were all a little bit scared that it was going to be, you know, these army sort of drills and stuff like that. But no, he's been great. We struggled a lot last year, so to have him involved this year is, it's amazing. Like, he's
definitely brought that like fresh sort of different perspective into things. We've had coaches that have hung around for a couple of years in the past, and it kind of gets a little bit tedious, but I think we've really enjoyed having Hazy come in and bring a new perspective into the team, and it's brought out different parts of the players that have been awesome to see, and he's delved into the club really, really well. He's a good bloke.
Now, just mentioned before, that obviously you're the coach of the 17s as well as playing in the seniors. How have you tried to adapt to both?
Yeah, look, training has been interesting because we train on the same nights, and their training times kind of interlock. But I have been pretty fortunate, and I think it does benefit the 17s as well, because obviously the older girls will come up into the women. And what I've been doing is trying to get the girls to join in on the senior women's training, the 17s. They'll join in on the senior women's training and do a few drills with them and stuff, and kind of learn some of that gameplay. So, and then obviously I'll just jump into the drill with them and then just yell stuff at them when I need to. But it's been good. Like, I think it's been very beneficial for the girls, and then the women have loved watching them come into the team, and to see who they're going to have in their team and as their teammates next year has been good as well. So it's been a bit of a juggle, but at the same time, it's good that I'm not down here 4 nights a week. It's only 2 nights a week, because I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone on those nights. So it's not too bad, but probably wouldn't change it because I love doing it. So it's not an issue.
Now, tell us a couple of players in your team we should watch out for, and you can't include yourselves.
Oh, okay. We've got plenty in the 17s, plenty that we're proud of. I'll start off with Gracie. We call her Moo. That's her nickname. And then we have 2 twins called Brownie and Dipper, or Sarah and Courtney. They'd be the ones that I'd say to look out for. But other than that, there's talent throughout the whole team.
We'll mention our very.
I was going to say, our ruckman is Skip, so Casey. She's very, very good. So I'd watch out for her.
I've never seen a kid jump as high as she can get.
Push that ball forward. So
it's insane.
Yeah.
Us.
I think in the senior women, I personally would not like to go up against Kat. She's got just so much passion and aggression when she's playing footy. She hits hard. She just attacks that footy. I wouldn't want to be bulldozed by her at all.
Our ruckman Kate does pretty well as well. She's been playing footy for a few years, and when she goes in, she goes hard. And then I'll probably give a shout out to probably Lex. We have Alexis and Gracie on our team as well. They have only been playing in the women's for 2 years, so I was able to coach them when they were younger as well. And they've just come up, and the skill set that both of them have is just out of this world, and they just put 110% in every week. So there's some really good players in both teams, and it's really good to see.
Now, how did all four of you get involved in footy, and why did you choose it?
I've supported it all my life. So when I grew up, I've been watching the big league all my life. So my brothers played at a young age, and then I chose to play when I was 12. So when the girls got introduced. So yeah.
Well, I started by coming down and just kicking the footy with my dad while my brother was training. And then one night I saw that there was a group of girls training that looked my age. And I went over and talked to the coach, which was Riley's mum, and she was like, just join in. And I've played ever since.
I've been playing since I was 8. My dad saw the ad in the newspaper to come and try for the local team. So I gave it a crack, and a lot of the boys back then were quite jealous of me being the only girl and actually being quite good at football. And then, so I've been playing ever since then.
And I started because I was doing kickboxing before I started footy, but my trainer went a bit nuts and shut his gym down. So then I had to look for something else, and we came down, me and the family came down to the club to sign up my brother. And then I had the president, who was the president at the time, and he is now, he just turned to me and he said, do you want to play too? Because we've got a girls team. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll give it a crack. And since then I've been playing. So that's probably like 6 to 8 years ago. So it's been a while.
What will be some highlights throughout all four of your football journey so far?
I'm going to be getting into 2 grand finals. So even though we didn't win them, it's still a great opportunity and to be in them. So yeah, quite proud of myself.
Obviously getting into the grand final last year with Riley and the team that we had last year. And honestly, every year there's those tiny little highlights in every game that, like, those are the moments that you just go, yeah, this is awesome. This is why I love playing footy. Yeah, too many to remember.
At a previous club I played for as a youth, we won 6 premierships in a row. So that was pretty awesome, I'm not going to lie. And then also coming from an Indigenous background, I got the opportunity to play in a curtain raiser for an Indigenous team in 2008 before the Lions game against St Kilda. So being out there on the big stage was quite daunting, but very exciting, and just being around my other Indigenous players was just a good experience.
Mine will probably be the premiership that we won 2 years ago, and we spoke to that year as well at the end of the year. That was really good. Got into the premiership undefeated that year, and then we won as well. So that was like something that barely ever comes across for anyone. So that was good. And then probably my other highlight would be coaching, like just being able to watch the girls come through as footballers and as young humans as well, like watching them come all the way up through the ranks and then them eventually being teammates. It's just really, really heartwarming, and it's probably what I love the most.
Now, I might as well speak to the 2 players that just mentioned about premierships. We'll go back to, was it 2018 premiership, I think it was, there at Jindalee. You mentioned that it went through the season undefeated. I guess, what did that premiership mean to you, and has it still, like, has it still sunk in?
Probably not. Like that whole day was like just a blur, and obviously the drinks afterwards didn't help. But even that year, like, I just can't believe that we went through it undefeated. Like, that just baffles me every time I think about it. But in saying that, like, there was no way that we didn't put the effort in, because we definitely did. And just that whole day was just such a memory that I'll never forget. But yeah, like, last year wasn't as good of a year as the premiership year. We had some ups and downs last year, but it's really good to be able to come back this year and bounce back with a really good crew, and start to get onto that premiership journey again. So yeah, it was a good year, but I'll give props to 6 premierships over here. Like, it's got nothing on us.
Well, I'm going to ask this question then. You mentioned the 6 premierships at youth. I might have a feeling I know which club that might be, but I'm going to ask, which of the 6 premierships mean to you the most?
Probably the last one, to be honest, because the coach that I had previously had passed away. So it was sort of the year to, like, all our hard work that game too. So not going to lie. So it was probably pretty good.
What position all you play on the field? And if you had a preferred position, we love to convince your coaches to put you, where would that be? And under 17s, be very cautious how you answer it.
Okay, well, I've been being put in like centre half back this year a little bit, obviously because we have such a great ruck called Skip. So when she's, you know, having a spell, I'll jump in the ruck. I'm not the tallest, but I get up there and I can get my hand on the footy. But I do really like playing centre half back. I love attacking that footy and pushing it forwards.
So the position I play is middle. So I quite like that position as it's probably the most scariest to me because, you know, once the ball's been thrown up, you've got to switch on fastest and all that stuff. But I'm still quite glad I got put in that position and couldn't have asked for any other place. So yeah, happy with it.
I started the season in the midfield as ruck rover. About 3/4 of the way through, I broke my finger and still wanted to keep playing, so I got put up forward. And this rumor going around is that apparently me breaking my finger is kind of like a good luck thing because I've bagged like 10 goals since then. So yeah, I obviously prefer to play up forward, played forward most of my life, but giving it a go in the middle was pretty good as well. So
yeah, look, I've played pretty much everywhere. When I played in the under 18s comp years ago, I was actually the team's fullback. And then when I first came to Jindalee, I got stuck with midfielder. And this year, Hazy's put me more up forward because I think my joints are getting a little bit older than my own age. But I mean, I do love the middle because you just see so much more of the footy. I just struggle to keep up these days, but and then at the same time, I love getting those points. So I don't know, if I had to choose, I'd probably stick with up forward, but I'd like to be fit enough to stay in the middle at the same time.
Now, what does the sport of football mean to all 4 of you, and especially being there at Jindalee?
Absolutely. The family runs through every age group. They're all connected, and that's what means the most to me. I love it.
Yeah, same as the 17 girls, the family. I've been at 4 clubs now, and this has been the best by far. You just feel welcomed from the very beginning. I barely knew anyone when I started here, and now I've made long-term friends that I think I'll keep forever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I'll have to follow along the same lines. I've played at, I think this is my 3rd club, so same thing. Like, the difference is, like, you walk in here and you go, oh, hey, and you, like, know literally everyone that's here. But whereas, like, when I was playing at the other clubs, you'd sort of look around and you'd be like, I don't know who any of those people are, and you only knew the people that were in your team. So yeah, it's definitely that family feel and that community. We're a real community here at Jags, and not just within. Like, we try and reach out to the further community as well. And even just when you're at the shops or when you're down the street at the park, there's always somebody that you know from the club, and they'll say, "Oh, g'day, how you going?" Like, it's so hard to just go out and grab a bottle of milk, because I can tell you, I'll be there for at least half an hour saying hello to people.
Now, obviously, of course, I mentioned to the junior girls, the other junior girls a moment ago, obviously the AFL Grand Finals in Brizzy this year due to Melbourne's lockdown. Tell us, what does that mean to all of you?
a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, we can have an opportunity to go and watch them live.
Yeah.
Like, we never get that up here compared to Melbourne down there. They get a lot more football, if that's what you're going to say. But yeah, it's a surreal experience.
Oh, absolutely. To be there and watch a grand final would be amazing. Not going, but doesn't mean I won't watch it.
Yeah, I think just knowing that the grand finals in Queensland is just good for the state in general. We're not as big as Melbourne with our footy, but we give it a crack, and we still have supporters up here, so I think it just brings a better opportunity for the Queensland. And we have hosted like all the Melbourne teams for the last few months, so I think it's a great opportunity for us here.
Yeah, I think it's really good exposure for the code in this state. Obviously, I think Queensland is more of probably a league dominated state, so I think it's really good exposure. And I think it's even better that the Lions have a really good crack at the grand final this year too, up the Lions. I'll be barracking for them on the way home. So yeah, fingers crossed we've already got the Queensland grand final locked in. All we need to do now is just lock in that Brizzy team, and that'd be spot on. That'd be like the event of a lifetime for us here in Queensland, I reckon.
Now, the question I asked the junior girls was I'm going to ask all for you as well. Tell us how good is to play with each other?
Well, I haven't played up with women's yet, but we do like AFL 9s and stuff like that in the off season, where everyone in the club, all different age groups, play together, and I think that's just something awesome that we love. I love, being able to compete against some of the women's, see if you're faster, or on your own team, like playing with them on the weekend. It's like the best friendships, and you just have each other's backs out there.
So I played up for one game with the women's this year, and it was an absolute really good experience because I get to play women's next year, so I move up, and it was a good way to expose myself to what it's going to be like next year. So I really enjoyed it. The girls are really supportive, and
Our senior women's group, one of the best groups we've had here in a few years. Everyone gets along on and off the field, which is important as well, not just on the field but off. And being able to train with the 17s at times during the week has also helped us. I think being able to see them develop their skills makes us want to better our own at the same time, I think. And knowing that a couple of the girls are coming up next year is a good experience for them when they did get the opportunity to play up. But yeah, I think just getting around each other is pretty good here at the Jags.
Yeah, I think they've said everything. I think they've covered it all. Like, I love playing with my team, and I love playing with the girls. Most of the time I'll jump in on the 17s training just because I love the feel within the 17s team. Like, they've got such a good bond. And then it's obviously like the same, slightly different bond up in the women, but the same sort of closeness within the team as well. So it's good that both teams have that bond within each other, but then they also have that connection through being able to work and interlock the teams together at trainings and the occasional games where we can get the 17s to come up to improve their skills as well. But yeah, it's just really good. Like, there's a really good feel around all of the women's footy here at the Jags.
Do either of you have any future ambitions in the sport of footy?
I personally would like to one day play in the top league. I had an ACL injury a couple of years ago, so that's kind of set me back. But I'd like to make it to the big stage one day. I grew up playing footy with a few of the Brisbane Lions girls, so it would be good to be out there with them, running around.
I think this club's got me stuck for the long run. I don't think I'm going to get anywhere with my footy, but I'm definitely going to stay here with the club and help the future girls, the future female players come through the ranks and do my part to try and get them to where they want to be within their footy. So I think that's what I'm here for.
Honestly, with my footy, I don't have any set ambitions, but I'm going to work my hardest at how I play footy, and I want to improve, and I always want to be better. So if I end up, playing for like a top team, that'd be great, but I also don't want to put any pressure on it.
I'm about the same. I don't really have any set goals or anything. Just try my hardest, and pretty much what Gemma did say. But yeah, see how it goes in the upcoming years, and yeah, if I make the top league, I make the top league. So yeah.
What will be your advice to our listeners out there that should get involved in footy, especially down there at Jindalee?
Well, with the younger girls, I know it can be a bit scary, and your first couple of trainings, you might not know anyone. You just have to push through it, because after 2 trainings, you're going to be best mates with everyone. You're going to have inside jokes with them. You just have to be committed and show up to training, and everyone's going to welcome you.
Yeah, just come down and give it a go. You'll surprise yourself how much you'll enjoy it. The support, and yeah, you'll make friends within a couple of trainings. So
I think the biggest thing with probably female footy is the fear that they have within it being such a full contact sport, and B, it's probably more of the complex games that we have around, like all the different rules and stuff like that. But all I can say is, honestly, once you take that first bump or that first hit, you'll know what it feels like, and then you'll just be able to go, oh, that wasn't really that bad, and you'll just get back up again. And then in terms of not knowing what to do, we've had plenty of girls come into the senior women as their first year, and we've had mums of 4 and ladies in their 40s and 50s come through, and they've just given it a crack to show that their kids that they can still do anything at any age, and they've just loved every minute of it. So even if you don't know what to do, that's what training's for. You come in, you learn the skills, and you have your teammates that will help you out throughout the year with all that sort of stuff too.
I think the 3 girls covered it all, really. You don't know until you give it a go, really. So, and being here at the Jags, it's just a welcoming club. So anyone's gonna join in, be a family. So yeah.
Now let's finish off with a couple of light-hearted questions about the team. Firstly, who had the most embarrassing moments on the field this season, and what was it?
Someone's done the splits in the game.
Somebody kicked the ball the wrong way. Thank you. Did you guys just play each other out?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So your splits are fun. So.
I don't know. What have we had that's been funny? Oh, Nikki caught the ball in one game with her face. That was pretty funny. She'll hate me for that. But literally, she actually caught it. I thought it was going to bounce back off, but she had her hands there and she caught it. And I'm so glad she did, because I wouldn't have been able to keep playing, because I nearly hit the ground in laughter. It was that funny. I don't know if you saw it, because it was right up the forward line, but it was just the funniest thing. It was just bang. But yeah, that's probably about it. I mean, there's tumbles and turns and awkward tackles and stuff all over footy, so you definitely get your funny moments, but I think that's probably one of the standouts for me.
Oh, that's funny. The good old Falcons.
Yeah.
Now, who's the comedian in the team?
Oh,
Surely
Dutchie.
Yeah, Dutchie.
Dutchie's the Canadian.
Oh, she comes up with the most strangest things, but you still laugh. So. Very random.
Yeah, she's the most random person you'll ever meet.
Oh, but we still love it.
Yeah.
And the funniest one on our squad would probably have to be, I think Ez is really good at her witty humour. She'll come up with things just out of the blue, and it's pretty funny. But we also have Pepper, and just some of her life stories are just some of the funniest things I've ever heard. Like the situations she gets herself into or gets herself out of is just out of this world. Like
She convinced everyone that Lacoste, the shoe brand or whatever it's called, means crocodile in French.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And she has this story about doing sign language on some travel trip, and she convinced everyone on the trip that she knew sign language, even though she had no idea, and did it the whole trip. So that one's pretty.
Someone's on the bus and knows it.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's this thing called TikTok, so I'm going to ask this question. Who's the best singer and dancer in the team?
Oh, okay.
Surely Dutchie. Dutchie's all over those TikToks.
Yeah, true.
That's
Yeah,
why
Dutchie
she's so
knows it all.
funny.
But she's really good at her TikTok.
Oh,
dancing.
so is Brownie.
And Brownie. Yeah.
Brownie knows them.
Who's like our best singer? Oh, Uzaya's pretty.
Uzaya,
Yeah, Uzaya's pretty good. She's really good. Actually.
She's a hidden talent, that one.
Yeah.
You just hear her singing and you're like, oh.
She doesn't do it often, but when she does sing, it's actually, she's got
Really
such
good.
a beautiful voice. And as for us,
Probably me.
and BJ.
And me and BJ, yeah, we a couple of Friday nights be up till early hours of Saturday morning trying to learn TikToks, and still can't really do them properly, but I think it's funny anyway, and yeah, put it out there.
As for the singing, I don't know, we're probably all tone deaf. I haven't
Yeah.
heard anyone. I don't know if there's actually anyone. Oh, yeah, there is. Courtney can. Courtney can sing.
Yeah.
I went to high school with Courtney. Courtney can sing. She's actually got a really, really lovely voice. Really lovely.
Now, we'll finish off with these last two questions, which is, with the challenges that you did during the lockdown, was there, like, what was it, a best one that you did?
So one of the challenges we did was the bring Sally up, bring Sally down challenge in like up downs. So we had to video ourselves doing it and saying what our time is, and yeah, that was pretty good. So it kept us all communicating and still talking with each other throughout lockdown. So it was good to keep in touch.
And we also had another competition in the group chat of like, if we do 20 push-ups, our coaches had to do 10 for every 20 push-ups we did. So it was good. It got the whole team involved and, you know, working together to make the coaches do a hard workout.
I think it wasn't really a challenge, but sort of it was a get to know your coach. I think just learning everything about all the different coaches in the team and in the club, and just seeing what their hobbies and interests were quite funny. You know, their karaoke songs and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think those coaches' videos were pretty good. The female football coordinator here at the club, Dee, she got all the coaches to submit a video, and that was answering a few questions. So as Tweety said, it was like your karaoke song, the last meal you'd have if you knew you were going to die tomorrow, and like a few things like that. And then yeah, the fitness challenges were good too. Not so much when the girls were making me do extra things that I didn't really want to do, but they kept me on my toes, which is what I love. So it worked, and it got everyone working together and kept everyone in touch. So it was good.
We'll finish off with this one last one. Now, is there a hidden talent that you didn't think you had when you were in lockdown?
Oh, I learned that I'm really, really good at procrastinating. Really good.
Yes, Deb.
Yes.
To be honest, I don't really know, because even throughout lockdown, because I work in retail, we stayed open, and I was kind of, other than going out on the weekends and obviously footy, I was still kind of doing the usual stuff. But I tell you what, I definitely lost that six-pack that I was working towards. That didn't help, I'll tell you that much. But other than that, I don't think I've got any bloody talent. Nah. Pretty talentless over here.
Skating on hikes. Riley and I went on a couple hikes during isolation, and we learned that she's really good at like finding the correct way to go, not getting us lost. I'm not real good at that.
No, you're not.
Well, all four of you, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. It's awesome having all four of you on the show. Obviously, for the 17s, also we're right behind you. So hopefully you can win the next 2 games and sneak into the finals, especially the grand final in 3 weeks' time. And obviously for the senior team, what a fantastic year that you've had this year. And hopefully when we come up to Queensland next year in 2021, hopefully we get to see you in the finals again, and hopefully go to that grand final and win that premiership in 2021.
Yeah, he's hoping. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
No worries, and that's the Jindalee Jags under 17 girls and the senior women's team there. Of course, if you're in the area, of course, make sure you get down there and support the mighty Jags for the rest of this year and obviously going into the 2021 season. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on Lockdown Wednesday.